Okay, we're gonna get to it. Mm, excuse me. Mm, excuse me. Um, so I'm only now just getting to this Joe Rogan controversy, him saying the N word 70 million times, and the misinformation about CV-19. You know, at first, just to give like a little brief on it, he was being ousted because he was being ousted by artists, by a few artists that wanted their music taken off of Spotify because of the COVID misinformation. I wasn't supposed to say that. Dang. The CV-19 information, and it just started with one artist, and it just kept going down the line. So many artists wanted their music pulled off of Spotify, and now I think after India Irie, which I'm gonna get into that video, um, but I'm gonna get into the apology video by him first. Basically outed Joe Rogan for saying the N word like 17,000 times, and you know I can't say that I am surprised that Joe Rogan said the N word. To be honest with you, you know, I was reading 50 Cent's book, and in his book he says that like they like to the media likes to like American mainstream media likes to pit white people and black like they like to just pit white people and black people against each other and make it all about race all the time. So, I like I said, I'm not shocked by this at all. Um, it's like one of those. It's kind of like the thing with Papa John, the founder or the CEO or whatever, whoever he is, how you found out he was fucking saying the N word, and you found out he was saying the N word, and he was talking about he uses it like he used to use it like frequently in his life, his personal life, and all this other stuff, and he was talking about he was seeking therapy. But I'm like, no, fuck you. You're fucking racist. Like, eat a dick. I don't give a fuck about you being going to therapy or anything like that. You're a fucking douchebag piece of shit who fucking says the N word. Like for real, you literally say nigga. You like legitimately say nigga. For real, your personal life. Like for real, for real. And I'm not trying to slight or like I'm not trying to like compare this to that situation in the regard that like Joe Rogan is any better because he's not at all. I'm not gonna let him off the hook just because he's you know an insanely intelligent person and has a platform that he does. Um, in my own, you know, just in my own regard, I feel it's like this. I feel like black people don't even listen to. I don't really even think black people listen to Joe Rogan like that. So uh, the first thing is kind of like, hey, who the hell is it? Who the hell is Joe Rogan? I mean, all of this stuff. One might say, oh, he said all this stuff before he was like on. Before he was like, famous like the way he is famous now. This was like this is post Fear Factor and just him doing his podcast before they were, before he was really like big like that. And to that I say I don't give a damn if he was C-list celebrity, Z-list celebrity, whatever. You should never have a comfortability where there's um there's no one there's no one there's no one of color who can like check you on this and tell you, hey, listen, you might be a comedian, you might be my friend, but I'm not with you saying the N word. And it's like a spiraling thing. And this is how you know he doesn't have any friends that are black that can be in the same room with him and tell him, nah, I'm not feeling you saying it. I'm not feeling you saying it, because it wouldn't have even got to that number of 70. Like, and then I also forget that he's a comedian. Not that that even matters, because any black comedian would have been like, oh hell no. Where the hell do you get off saying the N word? I don't care if it's context, out of context, whatever. Where the hell do you get off saying the N word? Seriously, where do you get off saying the N word? But we're gonna look at this video of him apologizing. Shout out to Self Talk. Self Talk. I will be putting your @ in the title of this video so you can get your credit. Just please don't don't like, I don't know, block the video because I'm reacting to it. Please, I'm gonna be putting you in the title of the video. I'm gonna be putting your @ in the title of the video so they can go and subscribe to you. I'm also saying go and subscribe to Self Talk, because Self Talk has a lot of good information, a lot of good like media clips that you can that you should go watch. So let's check out the video.
Hello, friends. I'm making this video to talk about the most regretful and shameful thing that I've ever had to talk about publicly.
You sure didn't seem regretful or shameful saying the N-word over the years, Joe. But let's continue the video.
There's a video
True,
that's
never
out.
gave a
It's
damn
a compilation of me saying the N-word.
Until they outed
It's
it.
a video that's made of clips taken out of context of me of 12 years of conversations on my podcast, and it's all smushed together, and it looks fucking horrible, even to me. Now, I know that to most people, there's no context where a white person is ever allowed to say that word, never mind publicly on a podcast. And I agree with that now. I haven't said it in years, but for a long time, when I would bring that word up, like if it would come up in conversation, instead of saying the N-word, I would just say the word. I thought as long as it was in context, people would understand.
But here's my thing about that, though. What would make it okay? What would make it okay for you to just say the word? Like who was around you that said, "Hey, it's okay, say the word"? It's not okay. It's not okay. It's never okay to say the word. Like, who was around? Like, what person put what person put the confidence in your head to say, you know what, I'm not saying the N word. I'm saying the actual word. I'm saying nigga. I don't care. I'm gonna say the word. I don't care. I'm gonna say it. Who gave you that authority? That's what I want to know. Who's the person who gave you this authority to just say it?
What I was doing.
And this is what's wrong with division. I can tell Joe doesn't have any real black friends because they would have checked him a long time ago about using the N-word.
Yeah.
Context or not, there shouldn't be 12 years of clips of you saying the N-word, Joe.
Facts.
Whoopi Goldberg just got fired for saying the Holocaust wasn't about race. She got suspended for 2 weeks for her opinion.
But see, here's now the pattern with that. First Nick Cannon, now Whoopi Goldberg. I think some years ago, back in the 90s, they were trying to tell. I remember watching the NWA biopic, and basically they were trying to cancel Ice Cube back in the 90s by saying that he was anti-Semitic. It's like it's so much. Like, golly, bro. Like, let's just keep going with the video. So much, man. So much to break down here.
She put it in context why she thinks it wasn't about race. If Whoopi had that conversation with Jewish friends, she would understand no matter what, it's a sensitive subject that you don't touch on because Jewish people still suffer from it till this day. Same with blacks and racism. We're having a conversation about saying the N-word in 2022, and we'll continue having these same conversations in years to come. Why? Because racism has kept us divided. We all can learn from each other. You shouldn't be a 50-year-old man
But
just
see,
now.
we're not the. But see, the whole entire divide is not because the media creates the divide. The media continues to create the divide that keeps everything separate. And and I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. There are a lot of things that happen in real life that make it hard to trust. You know what I'm saying. Y'all, you know what I mean. It makes it hard to trust. The world is moving and things are happening, and you have no time to react to it. And a lot of the things that happen are a crimes of passion that are geared towards somebody's race, especially down here in the South.
Now learning how the N-word, if it's in context or not, can be offensive. I've seen other celebrities get fired for less. But let's get back to the video.
Like that context was part of the clip we were talking about Red Fox, how Red Fox said that word on television in the 1970s, and how times have changed so much since then. Or about how Richard Pryor used it as one of the titles of one of his albums. Or I was quoting a Lenny Bruce bit, or I was quoting a Paul Mooney bit, or I was talking about how Quentin Tarantino used it repeatedly in Pulp Fiction. Or I was talking about how a Netflix executive, ironically, used it because he was trying to compare it to another offensive word, and he said it out loud, and they fired him. Not calling anybody a word, just saying the word out loud. I was also talking about how there's not another word like it in the entire English language, because it's a word where only one group of people is allowed to use it, and they can use it in so many different ways.
That just really sounds like an excuse for you to use the word. It really sounds like an excuse for you to use the word when you say there's no word like it in the dictionary. It just really sounds like, hey, there's no word like this in the dictionary, and I want to say it, so I'm just gonna say it and say it and say it and say it and try to throw in the fact that, like, yeah, it's a unique word, but nigga this and nigga that and nigga this and nigga that. Like, no, bro, come on. Bullshit ass excuse. Bullshit ass shit he's saying here.
Like, if a white person says that word, it's racist and toxic, but a black person can use it, and it could be a punchline. It could be a term of endearment. It could be lyrics to a rap song. It could be a positive.
It's not that simple. It's not that. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. That's what's being what you're saying is what the media is making being accepted. That's what they're doing. That's why the word is so synonymous with a rap song or a comedy bit or something in a television series or something in a movie, is because they're making it acceptable for the word to be normalized. We didn't make it that way. They did. We didn't make it that way. You think if we had it our way and we could control the narrative, you think we would have that word used or said that many times? That many times in music? That many times in movies? That many times in television? No, we would not. We would not have that word. I don't even that word wouldn't even come up. That word wouldn't even come up. But since we don't control television like that, since we don't control movies like that, since we don't have control over it, and certain executives and directors do, what do you think they're going to take advantage of and push? And what negativity are they going to push? Obviously, they're going to push that.
Information. It's a very unusual word.
And this is why you're getting called out by bloggers and celebrities for a fake apology. You just don't get it, Joe.
It is a fake apology.
There's plenty of white celebrities that don't say the word. If you want to issue an apology, do it when you really feel sorry. Don't say you're sorry and explain why. Do it to make it seem like it's okay for you. Say it, because in your...
He's doing damage control. That's what he's doing. He's doing damage control because the heat is on top of him. The heat is on top of him, and Spotify, Spotify is sticking by them, but they're like, you gotta apologize, bro. You gotta apologize. So we're gonna you get your lawyer on the phone and get them to write you something down that you could say on camera. So like,
Eyes, it was in context. You should have apologized and said sorry to anyone you've offended over the years, and you didn't realize how much of a black audience you had and wish you would have been checked on saying the word a long time ago, and that you'll do better in the future to understand culture and appreciate your listeners more. Maybe tell the people don't hold Spotify accountable for your actions and you take full accountability for what's to come. That sounds more like a sincere apology.
But it's not my word to use. I'm well aware of that now, but for years I used it in that manner. I never used it to be racist because I'm not racist, but whenever you're in a situation where you have to say, I'm not racist, you fucked up. And I clearly have fucked up. And that's my intention to express myself in this video, to say, there's nothing I can do to take that back. I wish I could. Obviously, that's not possible. I do hope that, if anything, that this can be a teachable moment. Because I never thought it would ever be taken out of context and put in a video like that. And now that
taken out of context. Do you hear yourself? I never thought it would be taken out of context. Let me just continue.
it is, holy shit, it looks bad. And it's part of also me doing this podcast for thousands of hours, thousands of episodes over 12 years. I said a lot of fucking stupid shit, which is fine when you're talking about most things, but not when you're talking about race. And there's another clip that I have to address. There's a clip from 11 years ago. I was telling a story on the podcast about how me and my friend Tommy and his girlfriend, we got really high. We were in Philadelphia, and we went to go see Planet of the Apes. And we didn't know where we were going. We just got dropped off by a cab, and we got dropped off in this all-black neighborhood. And I was trying to make the story entertaining, and I said we got out, and it was like we were in Africa. It's like we were in Planet.
Oh, Joe Rogan, you are not making this any better. Listen, bud, you're not making it any better. You went from apologizing. You went from apologizing for the N-word, and by the way, it was just I can't even take that as an apology. Like, you went from apologizing for saying nigga to going into a story about Planet of the Apes. You know, sometimes back when I was like following, like I used to wonder, like, what, I've never seen Joe Rogan do comedy before. Like, hearing that he's a comedian is just like he's a comedian, you know. So him telling a story about Planet of the Apes and being dropped off in a black neighborhood is just, this video ain't it, bro. This video ain't it, bro. You need to go ahead and just cut the. Once you got here, you should have just cut off the camera, bro. Yeah, it's going downhill. It wasn't even going up. It wasn't even going uphill when you was talking previously about the N-word, and it's really like it's going like 80 miles per hour right now downhill, all the way down. Just bury yourself. You are burying yourself right at this very moment.
Of the Apes. I did not, nor would I ever say that black people are apes, but it sure fucking sounded like that. And I immediately afterwards said, that's a race sounded like that. Say that black people are apes, but it sure fucking sounded like that. And I immediately afterwards said, that's a racist thing to say. Planet of the Apes wasn't even in Africa. I was just saying there's a lot of black people there. But then I went on to talk about what a positive experience it was and how much fun it was.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck. Bro, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Joe Rogan, get the fuck out of here. Have 17,000 seats underwater. With a radio with you. Take a radio with you underwater. Like, just no. 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 This ain't an apology. This ain't an apology. This is a I got caught. This is a I got caught. Somebody dug deep enough and found all of this, and there's nothing I could do about it. So I'm just sitting on camera, just talking. I'm just sitting on camera, I'm scrambling to just talk. You know, my lawyer put this together, and I'm just scrambling. I'm just putting together something, you know, because my lawyer told me I got to. That's what this is. Joe Rogan, sit down, bro. Sit the fuck down. I'm sorry. Sit the fuck down, bro. Sit the fuck down. This ain't no apology. This ain't it, bro. This ain't no apology. This ain't no apology. This is you trying to justify all your comments. This is you trying to justify all your comments. And then, like, no. Just, no, bro. No.
It was to go to see this movie in a black neighborhood. It wasn't a racist story, but it sounded terrible. And like I said, you can have clunky stories about anything, but not about race. And so I deleted that whole podcast, but obviously somebody made a clip out of it and taken out of context. It looks terrible, but it looks terrible even in context. It's a fucking idiotic thing to say.
You keep saying
and
context.
I was just trying to be entertaining. I certainly wasn't trying to be racist. And
you keep
I certainly
saying context. Bro, Joe Rogan, you can take context to the moon, and it still wouldn't be right. It would still not be right. It won't be right today. It won't be right tomorrow. It won't be right the next day. It won't be right next year, next millennium, next decade. It will never be okay to say the things that you have said. Ever.
would never want to offend someone for entertainment with something as stupid as racism.
We're gonna go. So anyway, we can't go to there. So I go.
Oh, okay.
Gotta go to one where there's Planet of the Apes, man. We're gonna go see Planet of the Apes. So I look on the iPhone app, and it says, "Okay, take me to this one." And the guy goes, "Okay." I go, "Is that in a good neighborhood?" He's like, "Oh yeah." Guy barely speaks English. He takes us there. We get out and we're giggling. "Oh, we're gonna go see Planet of the Apes." We walk into Planet of the Apes. We walked into Africa, dude.
Okay.
We walked in the door, and there was no white people. Planet of the Apes didn't take place in Africa. That was a racist thing for me to say. But you see what I'm saying. What I'm saying is...
Flies automatically stuck to your head.
Yeah, what happened is we walked into the blackest neighborhood we could find. I mean, there was literally no white people. It was amazing. And everybody was super cool. You know, it wasn't a negative experience. And this is something I wrote on Twitter, that we all went to see Planet of the Apes in a black neighborhood, an experience I highly recommend. And all these fucking people started calling me a racist. I mean, dozens of Twitter people, "Dude, I didn't know you were racist. Fuck you." Like, black people were saying fuck you. I'm like, listen, man, I am saying it was a positive experience.
Yeah, it was
I said
party,
I highly
right?
recommend it. And it was a black neighborhood. And we get in there, right? And we're so giggly high. We're like, "Oh my God, we're so high." And then I realized, like, whoa, everyone's black here. Like, well, I mean, everyone's black. This is crazy. And then a bunch of people recognize me and they start want to taking pictures. And it's all good. Everybody's cool and friendly. Cool as shit. Like, this guy goes, "Yo, man, where I know you from? I don't want to bother you, man. I'm not trying to use up your time. Where I know you from?"
Not the voice. The The voice is bothering me even more as I watch this fucking the mimic the it sounds like he's talking jive, like he's making fun and he's talking in a jive voice, like talking jive. You know how to like jive, like black people jargon, like jive, making fun, like the clip in general is just sending me to a place of darkness. But him talking jive just sent it several levels up just now. It's bothering me now the way he's talking for real.
I go Fear Factor. I go, yeah, that's it.
You made me
But it's the
smoke.
way he said it. It was like so cool.
How many people
And,
did the
and
smoke
we're
rock thing?
giggling. Oh, no one did the smoke rocks thing, but I took a lot of goddamn pictures. And like I said, super cool, super friendly. This is not a negative story. So then we go into the movie theater, right? It's me, Tommy, and like maybe there's another white person, maybe one other white person. Movie theater filled with black people, and they are having a good fucking time. And you know, people always complain that black people talk to the movie theater and talk to the screen. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But it's good.
It adds to the experience.
Fucking yeah. If that's what you know, and like, so the way I felt like, I'm like, look, I'm in their neighborhood. This is how they go to the movies. Who the fuck am I to be offended by how they like to go to the movies? They were at the movies, and I'm not saying all black neighborhoods do this, but this particular black neighborhood, these people brought babies, bro. I mean, there's a lot of people with babies. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just one. These people in front of us walked in, and they had toddlers, like little 2-year-olds, sitting on their lap to see Planet of the fucking Apes at like 10:40.
So is that not a normal thing? Like, don't fucking people of other races take their kids to go to the movies? I've seen people go and take their children to go see the Avengers. The Avengers is in no way, shape, or form a kids movie. I've seen parents take their children to go see scary movies. Is that something that's not normal or something? What the fuck? That doesn't even make any sense at all. Like, is it not normal for a black parent to take their child to the movies? I mean, I understand that it's not a movie. It's not necessarily a movie that's a children's movie, but that's a normal thing. I don't understand. That doesn't even make any fucking sense. I don't know how that even. This clip, this whole entire clip just makes this even more unsettling for me. Like, for real, the whole clip is just unsettling.
On a Friday night.
Didn't give a fuck about
Didn't give
school.
a fuck.
Nothing.
Didn't give a fuck. But I'll tell you what made me really nervous and made me feel kind of weird was watching all of these previews of all these different TV shows or all these different movies rather that are coming out. And I'm watching these movies and all of them are about white people.
Oh, weird.
And I'm sitting there and I'm going, wow, this is weird. Like, imagine being a black person. And I always thought, like, people would complain, like, I'd hear black people complain about, oh, there's no films for black people, there's no roles for black actors. And I'd be like, so go make a movie. What do you want from me? You know? But when you go to a goddamn movie theater with all black people, that's when you really feel it. I'm sitting there in the audience, and all these people are black, but every movie preview is white. There's no black characters. And then finally there's this movie with Jonah Hill. And they show a preview for the movie. And it's Jonah Hill, and he's doing all this different shit. And he's babysitting kids, but he's supposed to be like a cool guy. And the way they show you he's a cool guy is there's an old black guy working like at a door at a club. Like the black guy's there, and Jonah Hill's talking black to him. You know, it is what it is, brother. It is what it is. And I'm watching this with all these black people. I'm watching this white guy talk like a black guy, and I'm in this fucking theater filled, and I'm like, and I'm high as fuck. I mean, just barbecued, sitting there soaking in this experience, going, wow, this is fucked up. Like, no wonder why black people are angry and they feel disenfranchised. Like, they're completely removed from the mainstream cultural experience in a lot of ways. Like, there's a tiny percentage of black people that are included in movies. So finally, Planet of the Apes plays. Everyone's white in the movie except the bad guy. The bad guy is a black guy.
I will agree with that. I will agree with that part of it. Black people are very much excluded in Hollywood. It has progressed in some ways as of now, but I'm not really here to hear it from him because I'd rather hear it from somebody that's of the same race as me, that's in the industry. Um, but yeah, I agree with that statement, but I just don't think that part of the context of the conversation even matters right now because of how you were describing black people in a movie theater that went to go see a movie about monkeys. I don't really think that really matters at this point in time now because you just really like made like a whole funny montage of a story about saying something about black people and making it like trying to make it funny and then making it racist and then trying to clean it up by saying, "Oh yeah, that was racist. I shouldn't have said that." You said it already. You there now? Like you flew to the you you went to the game and now it's time to check in. And then the messed up part about it is that I actually like Joey Diaz. If Joey Diaz ain't tell Joe Rogan nothing, like, bro, I would have been like, Joe, like, if I was Joey Diaz, I would have been like, whoa, bro, like that's going a little too far with the joke, like, that's going too far with the story, bro, like, relax. But I mean, I don't know,
And I thought it was so strange. And not only that, he's a bad guy who owns this giant company, and he has an English accent. It's like not only is he but it's like you couldn't have a brother from Philadelphia that figured out how to own this corporation. It couldn't be a guy, even a brother that talks like a regular businessman type dude, who's like, well, what we need to do is acquire this, and once we get that, and then we'll be on moving, and then we get in the Forbes. No. This guy has an English accent. He doesn't sound like anybody you know, and this is the only black guy in the fucking movie, and I'm like, wow. And then the rest of the movie is just badass monkeys, just badass chimpanzees.
So was the CGI awesome? Was it?
Oh my God, is it good? First of all, the movie is the shit. Planet of the Apes is a dope movie.
Notice how Joe never really said sorry to his black listeners
He
or
never
black
said
people
sorry.
in general for saying the word. He keeps
never.
using words like
He's
someone.
like, oh, that was
Earlier he said
oh,
the
that was
N-word is a
racist.
unique
I
word
shouldn't
that
have
only
said
one group of people are allowed to use. As a 54-year-old man, why bring that up for an apology video? This
Facts.
comes off as passive racism. The lack of self-awareness and the ease
Nonchalant
people
about it.
like
Yeah,
Joe can play the
true.
victim when you call them out on it, makes it so much more annoying and difficult to deal with. Joe, please go do yourself a favor and educate yourself more on the N-word.
Fuck down.
Don't have these conversations with rich blacks
Sit
that are
the
yes
fuck
men.
down, Joe
Talk to
Rogan.
someone that's going to keep it real.
Sit your ass down, man. All right, so that was my reaction to the whole apology. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the NDIRE video, and I don't even know if it's gonna show her showing the receipts of him basically saying it. But I guess I'll go to NDIRE's response to the apology. Let me see. Shout out to Forgotten Kings.
Why I decided to ask my music be pulled off of Spotify. So check this out.
No white people. It says, okay, take me to this one. And the guy goes, okay. I goes, is that in a good neighborhood? He's like,
Okay.
oh, yeah.
That's
Guy barely speaks
the
English. He takes us
Planet
there.
of the
We
Apes
get
clip,
out.
Okay.
And I think that they should. I also think that Joe Rogan has the right to say what he wants to say. I also think that I have the right to say what I want to say. So as an artist who builds, Spotify is built on the back of the music streaming. So they take this money that's built from streaming and they pay this guy $100 million, but they pay us 0.003% of a penny. Just take me off. I don't want to generate money that pays this. Just take me off. That's where I'm at. And I know that I'm actually, to be honest with you, surprised that my statements were picked up because I thought people weren't really going to listen to me because that's what I'm used to from the industry. But I'm glad that I am being heard, and for that reason, I want to clarify my statements. Again, this is why. Watch this.
like, you know,
thing.
Yeah, saying the word nigger.
You've already D is just
And here are the
She's
clips,
calling
okay?
you it's like this boy that he but starts calling word. There should be a word, especially that he's got nigger, and then niggers.
Bruh.
Out the
Yo.
So we know how social media
Jesus
can
Christ,
be.
man.
Things can be doctored. People are taken out of context. It's happened to me many times. However, I want to be clear, in no uncertain terms, where I stand on this is that he shouldn't even be uttering the word. Don't even say it under any context. Don't say it. That's where I stand. It's my right to stand there. I have always stood there. I have other feelings about it, but those are nuances that are not meant for this moment. He shouldn't even be saying it. And so the confluence of energies comes into play here. So now we have this person who is offensive to a lot of people, who's paid $100 million. Spotify, the backbone of Spotify is the music. So you pay the musicians that are the backbone of your business 0.003 to 0.005% of a penny, and you take this money that you generate over here, because all the rest of it goes somewhere. The subscription fees go somewhere. So you take this money that's generated over here and you use it to invest in this guy. Do what you want, but take me off. Or pay me too. And I don't just mean me, I mean us. Artists like me, pay us too. Pay podcasters of color too. So artist relations from Spotify called me yesterday, and they asked me what I want, and I've been thinking about this all night. I'm not going to say it all here, but what I want to say to you is something that I already knew, but I want you to know that they said it last night. Most of the streams on Spotify are Black music, but we know that if you're paying attention at all, you understand the role of Black music in this world. So that's a deeper nuance. There's the musicians, there's the Black music that is the backbone of the whole music industry, that's the backbone of Spotify too, who are historically underpaid and mistreated and all this stuff. Just there's a historical context here that makes all this matter. And then there's this guy, and you take this money and you pay this guy who says this stuff? No. And so it took a Neil Young to open the door for someone like me, but I walked through it because I've been standing at this door for a long time. One of the hashtags I put on my post, the written one, was, what if we all leave? And that's what I'm trying to see if we could get to happen. What if we all leave? Then we can start having a conversation. It can go from a conversation to a negotiation. So.
All right, and now we're going to go to her response after his apology. She was spitting a lot of facts. She was spitting a lot of facts, you know. Spitting a lot of things that sound nice, you know, but I don't know. It's just it's a lot that needs to be done, and it's not anything that's gonna happen anytime soon. You know, this is like it's a wall that has to be broken down, and that's as much as I'm gonna really say about it.
I want to clear some things up. First of all, this conversation about Spotify, Joe Rogan, me, is not about Spotify or Joe Rogan. It's about my integrity. It's about being who I am inside, aligning with who I am outside. And it's about my dignity, not allowing anyone to belittle me. I'm not trying to attack anyone. What I'm doing is standing up for myself. That's first of all. And I think what's really interesting is how violently some of these trolls are responding to a person just standing up for themselves. Okay. So I want to address the different contingencies of people on this page, the people who follow me, the people who are on the fence and are wondering what I'm saying, and the trolls too. Not that the trolls would get this far, but I'm going to address them too because of my integrity. So, number one, the writer Roxanne Gay brought something to light for me that I want to make sure that I express. People who are talking about censorship and censoring of him, censorship is being at the threat of loss of life or freedom for your words. No one's being censored here. She said, this is not censorship, this is about curation. Curation meaning choosing what you want in a space, choosing the space you want around you. Curation. This is not about censorship, this is about curation. And so Spotify is making a choice about the space they choose to curate. I and other creators are making choices about the space we want to curate, the life we want to curate, by choosing spaces we want to be in or not. So using the word censorship is not appropriate because it's not true. So I don't believe in censorship. No one's being censored here. So there's that. 2, I don't believe in cancel culture. What I know is that people garner love or hate based on...
Oh, fuck. Oh, fucking... Oh, no. Oh, no. She must have got paid. Oh, no. She must have got paid. I think I know what's about to come next. Oh, no. I don't believe in cancel culture. Oh, no. I don't really believe in cancel culture like that either, but I feel like I know what's about to come next. I think I know what's about to come next. Man, they must have paid her. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, fuck. Boy.
how they act. And the reason why I don't believe in cancel culture is because no one is universally loved or hated. Joe Rogan can leave Spotify today and someone else will want him. No, you can't cancel. You can't actually cancel someone. You can curate a space. So again, this is not about cancel culture. It's about curation.
Actually,
Third,
man, it's possible for somebody. I feel like it's possible for somebody to get canceled if they say the wrong thing. That's i.e. Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon got canceled. Dave Chappelle got canceled. Even though I love the hell out of Dave Chappelle, and he is standing up for what he believes in as far as comedy goes, and he's fighting a battle that it might seem like it might seem like he's really going through something, but he's not really going through anything because he's Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle. But cancel culture is actually a real thing to me. I feel like it really is. Sometimes I might think sometimes cancel culture might go a little too far, and they might cancel the wrong they cancel the wrong people for like just like the smallest thing, and then there are times when I feel like cancel culture is appropriate. Cancel culture is appropriate for some artists who, I don't feel like I America is supposed to be the place where it's like freedom of speech and everything like that, but somehow freedom of speech isn't really real at this point in time because there's so much sensitivity afoot in this generation. So as much as I want to say that cancel culture is not something that affects things, yes, it does. Because when you're talking about the right, when the right amount of information, when the right amount of information is left somebody's mouth, left somebody's brain, and entered into their mouth and been released to the world, and it's talking about a certain group of people, then yes, cancel culture is real. In that regard, cancel culture is real.
to be very clear, I never called him a racist. What I did in the curation of my space is say, I don't like this here. I don't want to be here. Anyone who saw those videos and decided for themselves if he was racist or not.
You just basically outed him to be racist. You didn't have to call him racist. The clips alone let us. You pulling up the receipts, let it be known that yeah, this man is racist. What? You didn't have to say that he was racist. You didn't. First of all, you didn't have to say that he was racist. You pulled up receipts that let us know that, hey, you don't got to say, you didn't have to say it. The clips let us know enough. So how is it, make me understand, make it make sense. She had to have gotten paid. Oh, man. Oh, man. When they walk back on what, when they walk back on the agenda that they, when they walk back on the narrative that they put out there without saying so much, and now you're basically walking it, you walked it up front and then you walking it back. You walked it up front and now you're walking it back. You had receipts and everything. You was full throttle with it. Oh my goodness. What money will make, man.
That's their perception. I think he did well with his apology. I also found some of it disingenuous. Because everyone on the planet knows that that word is loaded, and that's why most people say the N-word when referring to the word. And so you choosing not to say the N-word is at best an edgy choice. You can be edgy, you can be a comedian.
I'm not going to continue with this because a deal has been made. Something happened, and now she's walking the receipts that she pulled out back. Her saying that she didn't call him a racist. That doesn't. You not saying that he was racist was not it. Like, you pulled the videos out, and that told us enough that what we needed to know. I don't believe he's racist. You pulled out the videos, though. I'm not understanding this at all, man. But my final thoughts on this are Joe Rogan needs to just sit out, man. Just sit out, bro. He shouldn't have even made the apology video, in my opinion. He shouldn't have did it. Shouldn't have did it at all. Shouldn't have did it at all, man. Like, you should have just let your lawyer release a statement or something, because the apology video is disingenuous. It's nonchalant. It's like, I got caught, and now I'm scrambling to put something, and now I'm scrambling and somebody put something together for me, or I got advice from my lawyer, and my lawyer told me to put this video out. That's what it looks like. So, and in the end, in the long run, nothing's gonna happen to Joe Rogan. Spotify obviously said that they're gonna stick behind their $1 million man. He's literally like he's their golden boy. He's their golden boy if we're talking about podcasts on Spotify. He's the guy. They deleted like 21 episodes of his show because those are all the episodes that has him either saying nigga or the episode with the Planet of the Apes bit that he said. So it's like, it just basically just tells you that they don't give a fuck. And we're left in the dark. That's the end of this.